It's Chelsa with Picks and Parlays. We're talking baseball. We've got the Mets and the Red Sox going head to head. We've got a promo code. The code is DRAFT for 20% off the entire site of picksandparlays.net. Mets home favorites here, minus 140 on the money line. Total is 8.5 runs. David Peterson, the lefty, going for the Mets, who's 1-2 with a 6.75 ERA. Then it's Garrett Richards going for Boston, who's 0-2 with a 6.48 ERA. We've got Kurt Alexander here to break this one all down for us. Kurt, initial thoughts on Red Sox and Mets?
Well, Chelsea, when you hear those numbers, the first thing you want to say is, "Oh, this is a game that's definitely going to go over." You want to take the over 6.35 ERA. Both pitchers are over 6-point ERAs, but I'm actually going to go the other way on this one. The total kind of indicates to me that this might not be as high a scoring game as one would think, just because you have these two pitchers that are having rough seasons. But when you dissect their seasons a little more, with Peterson, you have two games where he's allowed over 6 runs, but the one in the sandwich in the middle there, he only allowed 1 earned run that game. And then Garrett Richards, that first game definitely affected his ERA because he gave up 6 runs that first game. But he's kind of calmed down over the last 3, just can't seem to get that win. And when you look at the Mets offense, they have just not been able to put up the runs, especially at home. So, that has me leaning more towards the under. When it comes to a side here, I really didn't have an opinion because you have a team like the Mets that have a good home record. I believe they're 6-1 at home, and you have the Boston Red Sox with a good road record, 6-2. So those kind of cancel each other out. But like I said, I would lean more towards the side here. With these pitchers and the ERAs being what they are, you would expect the total to be a little higher, or I would anyway. I see a lot of 9s out there. I see a lot of 10s. Depending on the teams that are playing. But, like I said, 8.5 seems like there's something that, that can be done here. I think they could keep this one under that total.
Right. I think the stat that I would look at for the Red Sox is all season long, they've been really good against lefties. So if you ever look at team totals, they don't have it out quite yet just because we're filming this ahead of time. But maybe take a look at the Red Sox team total because the Red Sox OPS is near 800. They're 6th in baseball against left-handed pitching. Peterson, of course, is a lefty. So I think the way that their lineup stacks up, they could get some runs off Peterson and maybe look at the Red Sox first 5. I'm not sure what to expect from Garrett Richards, though, so definitely double check that. But I think Red Sox team total might be worth a look. Anything else, any other stats that you notice or anything in general you think bettors should know?
Well, with this Mets team, they were kind of like all the hype to start the season, right? And
right.
you hear the owner come out saying, "Hey, I'm all in this year." You look at their lineup; everything looks great on paper. The big Lindor signing, and I'm wondering if pressure isn't kind of getting to this team. You've heard players come out saying how frustrating it is for them to lose these games. They did win 2 out of 3 from Washington. They're back home now, so maybe things might start to look up for them. But yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye on this Mets team. Anytime there's just so much hype on a team, like it has been in this offseason for the Mets, like, oh yeah, this team is definitely, you're looking at a pennant run here, and yeah, it's a slow start, and right now I think the guys are kind of feeling it, but that's just what I'm looking at early on this season. Just from the newspaper articles and the comments from the players early on, it's kind of like, hey, it's early in the season, relax a little, guys. But yeah, it seems like they're starting to feel the pressure a little bit, just because, hey, owner says it, we're all in. He's spent the money this offseason. We're supposed to win, and they just haven't been winning right now. So yeah, I take a closer look, especially with them being favorites. Of course, they're going to be favorites.
Right. That's another thing is in baseball, you've got to kind of try to look at underdogs with a critical eye and just think, is there any way this underdog could pull it off? Because in a money line sport, you've got to take a chance on underdogs sometimes, so your units and so you're making money. But one more fact before we go, David Peterson did make his big league debut against the Red Sox. He was drafted by the Red Sox, and he also called his big league debut at Fenway last year. One of the best days of his life. So good memories, I guess. We'll see if that continues here because the Red Sox bats have been super hot this season. So we'll see those two facing off, and it should be a good one. That's going to do it for our
Yes.
baseball talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Kurt Alexander as always. Kurt, thanks for joining us.